about credit repair, one thing I want to talk about with credit repair for some of you guys, a lot of times you have problems removing certain items. Like you might send a letter and it might remove like 5, 10 accounts, and then two of the accounts may come back. And I'm going to tell you why that happens. A lot of people don't know this information, um, of why certain accounts say stuck on certain things like TransUnion, certain things like with TransUnion or Equifax. Well, the reason why a lot of those accounts, or some of the accounts that you have on TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian are very hard to remove. One of the reasons why they're hard to remove is because Experian or TransUnion or Equifax uses that lender, um, meaning they have an agreement. So, like, if you look at your account, like this is why I try to tell you that credit is a strategy game. So some people think that, oh, just tell me how to do it and give me this method and it's just gonna knock everything off. It's not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed because you're always dealing with multiple, moving parts. So when you're dealing with credit repair, you're dealing with alleged lender, and then you're dealing with the so-called credit reporting agency. So it's not guaranteed, but there are things you can do to force their hand to make them remove stuff. And in most instances, you shouldn't have to send more than one or two letters. And I'm telling you this because one time it took me, what taught me credit repair is to taught me that I was doing everything wrong. So when I was doing everything wrong, I was buying letters, buying templates, all kind of stuff going on the internet. Cause I was like, my letters ain't hitting. Why they not hitting? Because I never sat down and actually understood the FCRA. You don't even need to know all statutes. You don't even need to know all of the FDCPA, and you can still get stuff removed easily. But I'm going to show you this. And the reason why I'm going to show you this is because a lot of people don't even know this. So now my camera froze. Oh, there we go. All right. So, oh my goodness, it's taking forever. Okay. And it won't. All right. Good times. All right. So I'm trying to get to this. I got so many dang old tabs up. So I don't know why it's taking so long. Okay. Here we go. And oh, heck no. Now my computer want to start freezing. This is crazy. You guys don't see it. That's why I literally have to stop this recording. What in the uh, dude, I can't even get out of this. The fuck? So I had to edit it because it seemed like this wanted to act up. But I wanted to I'm gonna bring something to your attention that you guys need to know. And I was gonna say, all right. So I wanted y'all to know this because a lot of times when people are disputing credit repair, or I mean disputing credit reporting agents information, a lot of you guys don't know this. So what I'm gonna do is show you this. All right. So the credit repair, I want to say credit repair, the credit reporting agencies cannot verify anything. Okay. You guys need to know this. They can't verify anything. So when you're disputing with these credit reporting agencies, you have to keep that in mind. Okay, so sometimes I talk to people and they say, well, in the past, I sent this letter out and this didn't work. And it's like, well, I don't know what you put in that letter. I don't know how you sent that letter. I don't know what you brought up. I don't know what you did. Did you give information? Did they ask you to call them? Because in some instances, they will ask you to call them and people don't call them. or they'll have something in your email that says give us a call, and people don't give them a call, so then they won't remove the account. So I don't know what you did. Okay. So look, you're correct that the banks typically avoid sending sensitive or detailed documentation, such as payment histories or physical documents to the credit reporting agencies for a few reasons related to privacy, data security, and liability. So if something comes back verified on your credit reporting, you need to know what to do when that happens. That's why I said, for a lot of you guys, this is why I'm having the credit course, because most of you guys are doing stuff and you don't even know what you're doing, why you're doing it. You just like, oh, I want a remedy. And that's why you keep getting in a situation where you can't remove certain things. I'm telling you this because I did it. It took me a year to remove a car one time. It took me a year. And all it took me a year because I was doing everything wrong. Everything wrong. I kept doing it wrong over and over. Then I kept buying people's letters, and the letters didn't apply to my situation. So you have to know how to dispute your situation. So look, it basically said that they don't send any physical documents. That means how can the credit reporting agency verify this information? That's what I told you on the credit. That's what I told you on the credit repair course of how they verify this information. That's what makes the course valuable because you're learning the hows and why things happening, not just to go do stuff. And that's the problem. Everybody wants to learn the how to knock down a house, but they don't want to go and take the classes to get the demo school or all. You don't want to learn, and that's why your stuff is staying on your credit. So just because stuff pops back on your credit doesn't mean that that's it. You just send another letter and just make sure the direction of the letter is different. And if anything else is worse, you take them into court and you don't sue them under FDCPA because you could get them in court in less than 20 days. So privacy security concerns under Graham-Leach-Bliley Act, other privacy regulations, banks are required to protect customers' sensitive information. Okay. So they're supposed to protect your sensitive information. That doesn't mean they can't report stuff like account age, data, all that stuff. I have letters for that. So I have letters that you can send to the lender to tell them to stop reporting their information. Okay, sharing extensive documentation like payment histories or physical documents with a credit reporting agency could risk violating these protections, as this goes beyond the scope of permissible data sharing. To com- to comply with privacy regulations, banks typically only provide summary data, such as payment status and account standing, rather than physical documents or detailed records. Now, where does this come into play? UCC 1 dash what? 307. That's why I'm trying to tell you. UCC 1 dash 307 is one of the most important UCC codes. You never hear anybody talk about it. So UCC 1-307 tells you that any prima facie evidence from a third party reporting agency or a third party data furnisher is considered as valid unless it's challenged. Okay. So standardized data reporting. Credit reporting agencies receive information primarily through automated data feeds, which are highly standardized and generally only contain summary data. Banks use codes to indicate payment status, delinquency, or charge off without sharing underlying documentation. See, they'll tell, just like if you ask the right questions in life, you'll get the right answers. But if you just keep asking questions, or if you fail to ask questions, you'll never get the right answers. Okay. This limited sharing protects sensitive details and ensures that only data relevant to credit worthiness is transmitted and in line with privacy regulations. Handling of disputes. When a customer disputes an item on their credit report, the Fair Credit Reporting Act requires the data furnisher, e.g., the bank, to verify the accuracy of the information. However, this verification process typically does not involve sending physical documents to the credit bureau. Okay. So if it comes back verified, that means it can't be verified. There's no way for them to verify it. That's what y'all don't understand. You can easily remove anything off your credit with or without my credit cards. Okay. easily. You just need to understand the system and how it works, because then you get to cut the head and the tail off the snake. Okay. Instead, the bank verifies information internally and confirms and adjusts the data in the bureau system without transmitting additional sensitive details. Well, then how can they verify it if they don't transfer sensitive details? They can't. The only person that can verify the information is you. Maximizing liability. Since providing extensive documentation could expose the bank to privacy, litigation, or breach risk, most banks prefer to maintain strict limits on the information shared. Physical documents sharing would increase the risk of accidental disclosure of personal information, potentially breaching Regulation P under the GLBA or state privacy laws, leading to legal liability. In summary, banks typically avoid sending physical documents or detailed records to credit reporting agencies. Instead, they transmit standardized coded data that is relevant to credit worthiness, complying with both FCRA and GLBA requirements, with safeguarding customers' privacy and reducing the risk of exposure to sensitive information. So now, if you understand what that just said, what that basically just said to you is they can't verify anything. Because how can somebody verify something based off of information that they're being provided when the person who's providing the information can't even give you no physical documents? And with that being said, for some of y'all that are afraid of these credit reporting agencies, I've had questions of where people were scared that I was giving them information that was illegal. I would never give you any information that's illegal. That's the one thing you got to understand, that I would never give you any information to where it will put you in a potential place where you would go to jail, or you could potentially, get in trouble. But you have to understand that banks, if problem trying to intimidate you. And the reason why, because they have a deal with these credit reporting agencies. So if you have an account that's hard to remove off of TransUnion, there's a reason why it's hard to remove off TransUnion. It's not the actual credit stuff. It's because TransUnion has an agreement with that bank. So that's why it takes so much to remove certain things. Like, it feels like it takes forever. But yeah, when it took me to remove that, that's when I really started learning credit repair. When it took me almost a year to remove a car loan. Oh my God, that man, that I understand how y'all get frustrated. But really, what it is if it takes time, you have to sit back and look at what you're doing. Um, you can dispute stuff, it can remove it off your credit and it can pop it back up. But then you just change the dispute, but stay on the same premise. But yeah, disputing credit really is just sending letters. So if you're paying a credit repair agency, all they doing is sending letters. You could do the same thing. Um, but yeah, I did the course because I want y'all to have almost everything you need to fight almost all of this stuff. Because if you have some letters, please do not use my letters verbatim. Please do not take the letters, go on AI and add to them, but keep the general bare bones of what it is. But do not send no dang on letter that's a template. That's why they be knocking y'all stuff out, because y'all be sending templates. I used to buy letters. And that's why I couldn't get nothing removed until I started learning how to write a letter. And with that being said, I'm out.